And now we're celebrating year 31. And when people hear that, they say, congratulations. It's so funny.
It is. And I actually had a coworker the other day who has the same anniversary year as us. And I said, oh, we're going to go away for a little while, celebrating our 31st anniversary. She says, oh, we're celebrating our 31st anniversary. My first words were, congratulations. And I don't actually know anything about her marriage.
Right. It's because it seems like we just celebrate longevity. What does that say about a relationship that you've been married for 31 years?
Right. We celebrate the year, not how healthy is your marriage. Mm-hmm. And now this is a coworker. I'm not going to ask her, well, were they a good 31 years?
Or were they awful?
But as we're thinking about this, it's like, I think society has taught us that the big number is something of awesomeness, celebration. And the number doesn't represent were they good years or bad years. And I think we all know people who have been married a very long time. And I mean, in your work, you see people who, what do they stay together
for the children, or they're like, oh, you know what? I've been a stay-at-home mom for so long, I don't know how to go back into the workforce. And so there's a lot of people that will just because they've been married for 20, 30 years, doesn't mean it's a healthy, happy marriage.
That's endurance, and we don't celebrate endurance. And so we take a different view of this. For us, yes, we're mentioning numbers, and it's ironic that we're running a podcast where we sort of, the basis is, hey, we've been married 30 years. And I hope if you listen to us, we're not telling you stories of endurance. We're telling you stories of growth and love and things that happen. And so when we look at our anniversary, for us, it's just a date on the calendar that reminds us to intentionally be in the moment and to check in, to go to the steakhouse dinner, to have something and to take a time for private celebration. Mm-hmm. And what we didn't really dig into in the steakhouse story is that life was really messy around the steakhouse year. And the steakhouse year, that's funny. We'll refer to that year as the steakhouse year. That sounded funny as it was coming out of my mouth. But, life was busy. We had moved across the country. The girls were 3 when we moved across. We had spent roughly 24 months trying to figure out what's our community look like, who can watch the kids. And we had been, quote unquote, forced into those private moments, those private dinners at home because we just didn't have the support network. And you were home economics and doing that sort of stuff, but you were like 24/7 taking care of the kids, and I was working, and like life was very stressful. I wouldn't say it was a bad marriage year. It just wasn't a rosy year, but it counts the same as, 2 years ago, which might have been one of our best years because life has changed. But they all count as one on the score sheet, which I think is a little funny. I don't know.
It is. No, I agree. And we can definitely remember the years that were a little bit more rough, and then the ones that were, a little bit smoother sailing.